Mic check 1 2 1 2. Mic check 1 2 1 2. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Gyms with Josh. I'm your host, Josh. Thank you guys for tuning in to EP.4. Guess what, y'all? Yes, today is the day the NFL season begins, right? Super excited. We got the Eagles and the Cowboys tonight, September 4th. Should be a great game. Defending champions against the Cowboys, a team who got a lot of question marks coming in. But let's talk about fantasy football, man, what we are here for with Gyms with Josh. I got some keys for y'all for week 1 of the NFL season. All right. So a segment that we're going to have on the show during the season this year is going to be called Lock 'em or Chalk 'em. All right. Lock 'em means these are guys that you definitely want to have in your lineup for the week. Chalk 'em are guys that you definitely don't want to have in your lineup. All right. But for week 1, we don't know a lot of things because, it's a fresh season. So we're just going to start with some lock 'ems for week 1. All right. Let's start with quarterback first. Quarterbacks that we want to lock them for the first week. Oh, my God. You got to go Jaden Daniels with the Washington Commanders against the New York Giants. The thing with Jaden Daniels is he's going to get passing yards, but he's also going to run the ball. So it's a possibility that, he can have 2 to 3 touchdown passes as well as another 1 or 2 in the red zone running it in. I think that Jaden Daniels for week 1 is a lock 'em. You definitely want to put him in your lineup and lock him in. Another guy, week 1, Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott plays amazing against the Eagles. It's been one of the things that he's done very well in his career. In his career, he has 24 touchdowns and 8 interceptions in those games against the Eagles. Tonight, Thursday night, playing against the Eagles. Don't think the Cowboys defense is going to be really, really good. I think Dak is going to be on the field a lot, and he's going to be passing that ball around a lot. I think Dak Prescott is definitely somebody you should have in your lineup for week 1. Another guy that I like, and he's more of a gem for week 1. That's going to be Drake May against the Las Vegas Raiders. I think that the Patriots offense is going to be a lot better this year. I think he's got some new weapons around him. Stephon Diggs to be one of those guys who's really going to be a constant security blanket for him. And, the Raiders had a really, really terrible defense last year. So as a gem for week 1, I definitely think Drake May is one of those guys you might want to slide in your lineup, and you'll be surprised with the points that he's going to rack up this week. All right, let's move over to running backs, all right? So one of the games of the week that I'm super interested in watching is the Atlanta Falcons versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And both of those running backs in that game, I think, are going to have big games. Bijan Robinson on the Falcons side, like I said, he's going to get a lot of carries, and he's also going to get a lot of targets in the passing game. I feel the same way with Bucky Irvin. I honestly think he's going to do the same thing with Bijan. And if you look from last season, anytime the Bucs and the Falcons played, it was basically a shootout. So I think this is going to be one of those week 1 games that I think is going to be really a shootout. A lot of points put on the board. If you have either one of those guys in your lineup, so you set them in your betting lineups for the week, lock them in. They'll be guaranteed to get it done. Another guy I like this week, Jonathan Taylor. Jonathan Taylor is one of those guys I think a lot of people fell off of because, 2 years ago with the contract negotiation, then him coming back and he didn't play so well. But Jonathan Taylor is still young. He's a very good back. And Daniel Jones is going to be his quarterback, right? So we're not really sure what that passing game is going to look like. Jonathan Taylor is going to get a heavy, heavy, heavy workload against the Dolphins this week. If you're able to get Johnny Taylor in any of your leagues, or if you already have him, lock him in. Any of those betting that you guys are doing this week as well, lock Jonathan Taylor in. I think he's going to go crazy. He's going to have a really, really big, heavy workload. I think he's going to be really good this week. And last but not least, a gem for you guys, my boy Chuba Hubbard with the Carolina Panthers going against Jacksonville. Last year, Jacksonville was one of the worst defenses against the run. I don't think it's going to really change much this season at all. They got some good pass rushers, but that inside is a little bit shaky. I think Mr. Hubbard is going to have a big week. You got him, lock him into your lineup. Again, if you're betting this week, lock him into those lineups as well. I like Chuba a lot this week. Next, let's move on to the wide receivers, right? Number 1 this week, Malik Neighbors versus the Commanders. First of all, Malik Neighbors is going to get so many targets, it's ridiculous. There's not really a true number 2 on that team. And a good thing with Russell Wilson is he takes chances. He's going to throw the ball up the field. The Commanders don't really have really great cornerbacks. And I think Malik Neighbors is going to have a big week. If you got him on your team, and again, if you're betting this week as well, you definitely want to lock in Mr. Neighbors. Another guy tonight, George Pickens against the Eagles. I think George Pickens is one of those guys that's going to have a great season. For one, I think the Cowboys are going to throw a lot, like I said in other EPs. I don't think the defense is going to be great, so I think they're going to be playing from behind a lot. So I think that's going to help out a lot for CeeDee Lamb as well as George Pickens. I think George is going to have a really big game tonight as well because of, the Eagles don't really have a solidified CB2, corner. They lost Darius Slay, even though he was older, and they're kind of replacing him with a Dory Jackson. Cooper DeJean more so plays out of the slot. So I think George Pickens is going to have a lot of favorable matchups tonight. Definitely want to lock George into your lineups as well as your betting lineups. Big time betting this week on George Pickens. Third guy, man, Drake London. Again, I think that Tampa Bay versus Atlanta game is going to be very high scoring. And I really do truly feel that this is Drake London's season to really, really break out. I think Michael Penix is going to take a lot more risks than Kirk Cousins did last year, and he's going to toss it up a lot to Drake London. And I think he's going to get a lot of targets in the red zone this year. If you got him, lock him in your lineups for sure. And here's a gem for this week. My boy Juwan Jennings with the 49ers. Right? Just got paid yesterday, got an additional $3 million on his contract to play this season. He is healthy after being out a few weeks with a calf injury going against the Seahawks. One thing about Brock Purdy, when he's playing with Juwan Jennings, he looks for him a lot. He's going to get him a lot of targets, a lot of short yardage things. If you have Juwan Jennings, lock him into your lineup this week. And if you are betting this week, I guarantee you Juwan Jennings is going to be over whatever number there is out there this week. All right? So, again, tonight is Thursday Night Football. First game of the season. You got the Eagles versus the Cowboys. And I got a lineup that you guys should lock in for your prize picks, whatever betting apps that you use. Me personally, I'm located in Georgia, so we have to use prize picks as ours. I think this lineup, wherever you set it up at, you're going to be very, very happy at the end. But again, remember, guys, when you're betting, please bet responsibly, right? Don't bet your house, don't bet your kids' life savings on bets, right? Because at the end of the day, these are grown men playing football. There's no guarantees. But I guarantee you this, though. You might have a good chance of winning a couple of dollars a night if you roll with this lineup. One of those things I see on prize picks is Dak Prescott, over 0.5 passing yards a night. That's a gimme that they're giving tonight. Got to go ahead and lock that in. George Pickens, 55.5 receiving yards. I'm going up on that one. I think George Pickens is going to get a lot of targets tonight. Like I said, playing with CDs, never played with another wide receiver that great. He's going to see a lot of wide receiver twos guarding him as well. George Pickens over 56 yards tonight for sure. On the other end, you got Jake Elliott, kicker for the Eagles, 1.5 field goals. I'm definitely going on the up on that. I don't think it's going to be a super, super high scoring game, but anytime the Eagles and the Cowboys play, there's usually a good amount of scoring. For that reason, I think the Eagles are definitely going to be in the red zone, and I think Jake Elliott would definitely get opportunities to make field goals. So over 1.5 up definitely with Jake Elliott on field goals. Another one, man, that I really, really love this week, Jake Ferguson, 34.5 receiving yards. I'm all the way up on that. I told y'all before in different EPs, Jake Ferguson, when he is with Dak Prescott, is a different caliber kind of guy. He's honestly a top 10, borderline top 5 tight end in the game when Dak Prescott is playing. Dak is going to really, really be looking for Jake Ferguson. So 34.5 yards, we're definitely on the over for Jake Ferguson tonight. Lock that in. Here's one that I know a lot of people might think I'm a little crazy on, but I feel pretty safe taking this bet. Javonte Williams, 35.5 rush yards. Up. All right. One thing that Coach Schottenheimer has said a lot with the Cowboys this year is he wants the offense to be very even, and they're going to run the ball. Right? We haven't seen Javonte in the preseason, but all accounts have been saying that he's very healthy. And to me, he's always been a tough runner in between the tackles. I think him getting over 35.5 rush yards game one, I think he'll definitely do it. So lock Javonte Williams in tonight as well. Trust me. And last but not least, another gimme that they have on prize picks. Saquon Barkley, 0.5 rush or receiving touchdowns. Again, I think it's going to be a pretty decent scoring game. I think the Eagles are going to be in the red zone a good bit. I definitely think Saquon is definitely going to punch one in for a touchdown, either rushing or receiving, I think that's another one that you want to lock in. All right. So I'm going to upload this and put that along with this video. I guarantee you that, these picks are some pretty solid picks, but again, be careful with betting, be responsible, but I have a good feeling about these tonight. Guys, thank you guys for showing so much love on the first 3 EPs, man. Over 10,000 views on each episode over all of our platforms. I can't thank you guys enough. Super excited about this. We'll be definitely dropping 2 EPs a week now. Since the NFL season has started, we'll probably always drop one before Thursday night football, give you guys a couple gems for the guys coming up for the week, as well as some betting advice. And then we'll follow up with you guys on Saturday, Sunday for the rest of the games coming up this week. So week 1, NFL season, super excited. Gems with Josh. Make sure you follow us on all social media platforms. And again, let's get to it, baby. Let's play some ball.